Welcome back for another video. Who are the FPL experts buying and selling this week? Who are they captaining? And what's the experts team for Gameweek 36? Lots to get into. Let's start off with the manager highlight as always. And FPL USA Brian's moved to the top spot after a score of 70 points with a -4 hit taken. He brought in Bowen and Mbumo for a hit there, which paid off. And that takes him up to 285th in the world. Did you manage to beat the experts' average score, which was 53? It was a lower scoring game, wasn't it? Like the average overall was 41, and that was the 5th lowest average of the season. There's 16 experts in the top 10k currently, and there's 62 in the top 50k. 3 game weeks to go. This week, 27% are planning on rolling. I mean, just because there's 3 game weeks left and that's it doesn't mean you have to spend a transfer now, right? Like if your team's in decent shape, then having 2 free transfers in game week 37 still could be really powerful. Like you never know what's coming around the corner in FPL. Having 2 transfers next week could gain you more than spending a transfer for a slight improvement this week. 59% are planning 1 transfer, 13% planning 2. And one expert's been really patient to save their free hit this long. I mean, I'm guessing they were hoping for a big double game week 36, which didn't play out in the end, of course, but we'll have a look at their team later to see what the best game week 36 team is. So, who are they buying and selling? Number 1 this week is Wissa. 31% are buying him. One of the most underrated forwards in the league, really. Like he's gone under the radar this season. 17 goals, 5 assists to his name. And he's scored in all of his last 4 matches in the league. And he's got Ipswich next as well, so you can see why he's popular. And he's averaging 9 points per game against the relegated 3 teams this season. And he's returned every time that he's faced them. Mateta's the most sold, 42% drop in him. It is a bit surprisingly high. Like at the end of the day, he's facing a Spurs side that are in terrible form, and they will have played the Europa League semi-final just a few days before that. And they are the 4th worst defence for expected goals conceded this season. His early substitutions have been a frustration for owners though, and the lack of returns really as well. His last 6 starts have been 75, 74, 55, 45, 67 and 58 minutes. They've got the FA Cup final as well coming up, so it is an opportunity to move off the very popular Palace triple up and target some good fixtures this week. That's the other thing. In Game Week 37, we're not afforded the same opportunities. Leicester and Ipswich face one another, and Everton have got Southampton, so there's just far fewer options next week really. So I imagine there'll be more roll transfers next week and maybe spend 2 and 38, but let's see. There are some other forwards in the mix though, not just Wissa. 18% are buying Wood, who's got Leicester home of course. 6% are buying Cunha, who's got Brighton home. One manager's buying Evan Nilsson as well. Looking at all their fixtures, they're all pretty amazing on paper for the final 3. I mean, Wood's the only one that's actually got at least 2 green fixtures, but Forest are in perhaps the worst form of the 5 here. Although no one's buying this week, I've included Watkins here as well. He still looks like a valid pick, particularly from Game Week 37, if not this week, when he's got Spurs home and then Man United away to end the season. I tweeted about these 5 players earlier. How would you rank them in order, best to worst? So the 5 are Watkins, Evan Nilsson, Wissa, Wood and Cunha for the final 3 game weeks. I think my order would be Wissa, Wood, Cunha, Watkins and then Evan Nilsson. So who else are they buying then? 13% are going for De Bruyne and Elanga. I mean, Man City have got the early kickoff, so yeah, we might know again if he starts or not, and other City assets once some early team news potentially drops. I mean, Southampton's an unbelievable fixture for City, isn't it? It could be like a 4-0 type game. And if you're tight on money, then Elanga's a good option for Leicester home. It's an absolute must-win game, and it's kind of hard to imagine anything but a win for Forest. And you'd imagine they probably put a couple past them at least. Elanga's actually got the highest XGI of all Forest players over the last 8 games as well. And he often occupies the most advanced positions as well. As far as Forest defence, 3% are going for Milenkovic, 1% Murillo and Williams. 9% are selling Isak this week, and he got a 9-pointer last match of course. I mean, if you're aggressively chasing rank or mini-league, he is really highly owned, isn't he? So you could gamble that he finishes the season a bit quietly. Like he does have Chelsea next, who have been the best defence for expected goals conceded over the last 5 or so games. And then he's got Arsenal away, so it's not a bad bet on paper. So yeah, speaking of Arsenal, they are out of the Champions League now. So what does that mean for Saka? 4% are selling him. You'd expect him to get very good minutes for the final 3 games. Like in theory, he should start all 3, so keeping Saka is a solid strategy now if you've got him. Second place is far from secure for Arsenal, so yeah, you'd imagine they go full strength for these last 3. There's just a few chips active. There's 3 assistant managers active, which are all on Pep. There's 1 bench boost active, FPL Sis, and there's also 1 free hit, which is Yav. He's activated it already. Here's his team. It's Sells in goal, it's Vardiol, 8 Nori, and Sessegnon in defence, De Bruyne and Bumo, Elanga and Shader in midfield, and it's Marmoush, Wood and Wissa front 3. Sarr, Eze, Trippier and Trent on this bench. Here's what he had to say. I've tried to get in a few differential players like Shader, Elanga, and to a degree KDB. I may even captain one of them, as I need to make a big gain in rank to try and make up for a largely disappointing season. I think I'm going with triple Brentford attack. They've been on fire as of late, and I don't particularly rate their defence highly. I am considering putting Haaland in if there's any chance he starts, but I very much doubt it. He'll probably come in as a substitute at best. I may change to substitute defenders as well, I'm still undecided. I'm looking to go with a very attacking defence because of the upside potential. I really want to play Eze, but I just can't squeeze him in at the moment. He could give Spurs a torrid time. Thanks very much Yav, best of luck on the free hit. Moving on to Gameweek 36 Experts Captaincy, and this week Mbumo leads again, with a larger share of the vote as well, 67% are going with him. De Bruyne's in second with a frighteningly high 19% for us non-owners, Wood 12%, Wissa and Marmoush 1% each. Mbumo has averaged 12.8 points per game against those bottom 3 teams. He's got a stellar record against them. In fact, last season he started 4 games against the bottom 3 and he had 1 goal, 4 assists, just blanked once. In terms of pure goal scoring odds, it's Marmoush who's got a 50% chance, he's top. Haaland is actually higher if he starts, but that's very much up for debate. So yeah, 50% for Marmoush, 47% Wood, and then 40% Isak, Mbumo and Wissa. But Mbumo excels when it comes to assist potential, and here's how FPL Review's latest projections look with everything factored in. So it's Mbumo who leads 6.6 points, and then it's Wood with 6, and then it's the forgotten man Salah on 5.6, tied with De Bruyne there. Marmoush and Wissa just a smidge below. So yeah, much like last game week, there's a big spread of good options, so back yourself if you fancy a particular player or a particular fixture. Like if you come out on top like the KDB captain has did with 22 points, then the potential rank gain is massive there in a week where effective ownership percentages will be lower. So with that all said, let us know who your captain will be in the comments. Onto the Experts team for Gameweek 36. A few changes to the Experts template team this week. It's Raya in goal, or obviously you could go Areola to be honest, like neither have got good clean sheet odds, they probably both concede. Vardiol, Munoz and Conser in defence, Sarr and Mbumo, Salah, De Bruyne midfield, Wissa, Marmoush and Isak up front, so Wissa and KDB join the team. Looks like a great team this week, especially that front 7. I think very few of us have got a fantastic defence this week due to keeper and defender combination, so don't worry if that's you. It might be a week where we're going to be counting on those attackers more. Mbumo captain, KDB vice in the Experts team. So Marmoush, Salah and Vardiol, the 3 players that are over 90% owned by the Experts, way higher than their overall percentage ownership. And Mbumo's up to 88% now. Isak moves down to 5th place of 83%. So, moving on to the Experts' final thoughts and tips for Gameweek 36. Here's their advice for you. FPL Sis has got his bench boost active and he's keeping an eye on leaks, he says. This one is pending team leaks. Most likely KDB comes in and is captain as well. If not, it's Wissa for Mateta and captain Brian and Mbumo. Best of luck all, nearly there. FPL USA Brian says, after a massive Gameweek 35 where I rose 50% in rank from 642nd to 285th overall, I'm looking to go differential of captain again, and I'm taking a long look at KDB. He's only owned by 33% of the top 200, so I'm looking to get lucky again and rise with any of his returns. Vart says, it's hard to tell which version of Spurs will get against Palace. More secure knowing which versions of Forest and City will get, so I'm effectively dropping 2 Palace players for KDB and Elanga. And lastly, FPL Pattern says, transfers are up in the air right now. I've got 2 free transfers and I can use none, one or both. Mateta's on the chopping block, but he will be playing against a tired Spurs side. Marmoush not been doing good recently, but he's got a good chance to start against Southampton. Isak's not been amazing recently, the penalty covered up the cracks. Wissa is the most in demand for obvious reasons. Wood with the best fixture of the game week, but his and Forest form is really bad, so a classic case of fixture versus form. Cunha the other striker to be considering with him being on penalties and a bonus point magnet. That wraps up the Experts video for Gameweek 36. Thanks very much for watching. See you soon for the next one.